Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mr. BuildWealth. I am back at it once again, here to share information and resources that can help you get started with building wealth. And as always, before I begin, I want to punch in my website just so that way you all will know where to find me, the BuildWealthMovement.com. A lot of great information and resources. Let me know how I can help. I'm really trying to figure out what is it that I can do with my efforts that can help more of us to understand wealth, embrace wealth, do what it takes to become wealthy. And part of this session, it's dealing with when I think about legacy. And so it's called Aggie Pride. And I'm saying that because I'm actually on campus right now in Aggie land, and I literally just drove up just to come to campus to do this video today. There was no other reason as to why I was going to drive from Durham to Greensboro, but I wanted to come and be on location to kind of give you all some more insight as to why I care so much about all that I do and what I do for people and the results that can actually occur. So I'm in the business school, and this is where I started this journey on business. And so the first thing I wanted to share was and I think anybody can relate to this, if you've attended an HBCU, most of us enjoyed the experience, but more so we enjoyed the faculty and staff that was there because we know how that shaped our lives. There's not a person that I know who has come through these doors here at A&T or walked across the stage who doesn't kind of feel the same way about this legacy that A&T provides. And so first thing I wanted to show you is the gentleman right up here. So that's my guy. So Dean Craig was here while I was attending A&T, and when I declared business as my major, I was a really good student. And what Dean Craig told me, and to this day, he was like, the more work you put in, no matter what it is, there's always somebody who wants to help you out. And he was one of those dudes. He was at the top of the food chain, but he was and we were pretty much his kids. If you came through these halls and you were doing what you had to do, Dean Craig was the motherfucking man. He wanted you to leave this campus and go do incredible things. And so I tip my cap to Dean Craig, because that dude, he literally sat me down in his office one day and he said, "What do you want to do?" And so for those who don't know, I played baseball while I was here at A&T, and I figured at some point I wasn't going pro. But Dean Craig was like, "What you want to do? You want to go corporate? You want to do a PhD? You want to be an entrepreneur?" And just hitting me with some real shit. And I'm like, 18, 19, 20? Just it's almost a lot to kind of take in. But I realized that that's his job as the top dog. When you are a dean of a school, we are essentially your kids, and you want to see your kids go out here and do incredible things. And so I appreciate all that Dean Craig did for me while I was here at A&T, and it's why I come back and do these videos and check in with people from the university. Is why I probably need to do more. And I'm just one man, but of course it's a collective effort in terms of how we keep this thing moving. But, aside from Dean Craig, so I don't know if you all, actually you can see it. So you see the little ticker? So some years after I left this institution, we have a trading room. And just having that ticker is super dope. I'm kind of jealous of the business students who are here now, because if we had that trading room while I was here, who knows where I would be at this point in my life. And so I hope that more of the students who do attend here can take advantage of the resources that A&T provided me way back when, but definitely nowadays. And so I want to, encourage people to leverage your institution to the best of your ability, because I've been to the trading room upstairs, and the amount of information that's shared about our markets, we live in a global economy, and I've learned how to invest and trade. I don't do a lot of heavy trading, but if I was in school and I had a room that was upstairs, actually on the second floor, I probably would have been skipping class and they're trying to trade the markets. That's how obsessive I might have been, because nobody, it's almost like this untapped thing for people who look like me, where we don't feel like we can invest. We don't feel like we can understand the complexities of the various markets. But I mean, shit, man, they got a ticker. Like every time you walk into this building, you know, if you don't know what that shit means, you can walk upstairs and start learning. Like that's the coolest shit. I'm like, I wish I would have had access to something like that in school, but I learned it when I got into industry, and so I learned it. But wouldn't it have been nice to be in school having fun and learning how to make money and trading? Like, I think that would have been dope. So I want to see my institution do more around encouraging Black and brown kids to consider investing in something. And they've got no excuse now because there's a room upstairs and they do a ton of education around it. So I enjoy coming back here and just like soaking this shit in. Like this is like life. Like it's real shit of like I learned so much while I was here, and I want to do more for my institution. And part of that more was, I'll show you, it's behind me actually. So it's this Hall of Fame. And I remember when I was here, you know, you had the normal stuff that was here in the middle. You had, you know, the trustees and, you know, the Hall of Fame. But what really intrigued me was this right here. It was this, what do they call it? They honor those who have established endowments to support our students. So I used to look at this. Actually, I used to look at this entire wall. And so, I would, you know, this was kind of here. And then I would look at these endowments. And I was like, who are all these people, these organizations? And I became very intrigued about what was happening. Like, what's an endowment? And, you know, how do you do that? And you have families, you have businesses. And that's what inspired me. Like, when I was in college. And there definitely were not, actually, let me flip back. So when I was here, like, you see there are a few empty slots left on each one of these, but that's happened over a sustained period of time. And I can only think of, why were there so many empty slots with all the incredible alums that we have from this institution? There were a lot of vacant slots. Now, as you can see, there aren't as many as I remember, but I'm happy and thrilled that each time one of those gets squared away, your legacy is solidified. And I talk about legacy all day long. So I want you to think about not only doing more for your institution, but like get a plaque on a wall in your school. Whether you know, a lot of HBCUs don't get the funding that they need. And part of it is because we don't have a foundation ourselves. Like we got these degrees, we got these jobs, but we still haven't really understood how to play the money game. And so when I come back to campus, I love kind of sharing with you all, like, this is why I'm so driven to help people with their financial situations, because the sooner you get out of school and make your money, the sooner you can give back. And if you think about wealthy communities, kids who go to certain institutions aren't struggling, they don't have student loans, and so when they come out, they get the job, they get the property, they start investing, and they also start giving back a lot earlier than most people who attend HBCUs. And I'm generalizing, of course, but this is why an HBCU endowment pales in comparison to the Ivies, because we just don't give back enough because we can't. You know, a lot of us just get through school and then we have all these student loans to pay back, and then maybe we're in a profession that doesn't pay us what we're worth. And so you see how you delay kind of the giving. Like it's just a thing that we can actually fix, but it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna happen overnight. Like, I'm just one guy who understands the vision, but I need you to think about your personal financial situation and getting all your ducks in a row and taking care of the financial house and then having the conversations that you don't want to have right now, because it's not about one specific product or solution. It's all these things and how they combine to, you know, set the tone for you and your family, future generations, but also your institutions that you've come through. And so there's no secret that the wealthiest people tend to do the most giving. And so at some point, you've got to decide, are you going to do something different? And I think I've done that. I think I'm doing it currently, because what I am doing is unleashing this information that people have never heard of. Like when I did my endowment for the business school here at A&T, everybody's like, what the hell are you doing? And you're balling, you're this and you're that. And I was like, look, man, it ain't that hard. I literally made a phone call and I had a conversation. I asked some questions, and lo and behold, I set up my endowment. You can do the same thing. Like I showed you all the plaque. Actually, I'll show it to you again. I'm sitting down right here. But, I look at this wall and here's what I think about. Like, you are solidified forever if you set up an endowed scholarship at your institution. And in my brain, the way I think, I would love if we had 2 or 3 or 10 of these things, right? And just they were all filled with people who left this illustrious institution and decided to do something different, to do more than what was asked of them, to create a legacy for kids who are going to walk these halls. They're going to walk in that door. They're going to see that Hall of Fame. And wouldn't it be nice if we had a shit ton of these that just covered up this entire wall? Like, wouldn't that be dope? And then you see Dean Craig, who set the tone here. Dude was fucking incredible. And then you can walk upstairs and say, let's do some trade. Let's check out the trading room or the trading floor. That's the kind of stuff that money does. And it's one of these where people, they tend to say, well, it's not all about money. Bullshit. Bullshit. It is about the money, and the money's just a tool. That's why I go so hard in the paint for the BuildWealth movement, because money is the difference as to why people can't do certain things in this life. And so I come here to Aggie Land. I'm in the business. I'm in the lobby. And I want to encourage people who have attended HBCUs to give back, to stop making these fucking excuses about why you can't give back to your school, because I know this to be true. GHO is a real big deal, and that's the greatest homecoming on earth. And when I see the thousands of people who attend and come to Greensboro, and you look at the economic impact it has on this city, like the pandemic screwed this shit up last year. And so I attended some of the virtual things because I live in California. But like during normal times, you're talking about thousands upon thousands of people who have walked through the halls of the business school that I'm in right now, through this entire campus that has just, transformed leaps and bounds since I left back in 2007. But it's a money thing. And if you got the money to bring your ass back to your institution and party and do all the fraternities, sorority stuff, the Greek life is huge. And I appreciate all my friends in all these organizations. But think about if we did a little bit more with our money. And not only just come back to campus and party and see your old friends and do your thing, but what if we all came back with checks and just deliver them to the advancement office and say, hey, look, I just want to write a check today just because I enjoyed being here. I enjoyed learning and growing. And, you think about all the relationships you build when you're in college. I've got lifelong friends, and I think it's important for me to come back and talk and share and do a little bit more. More is expected when you're successful, and just embrace it. Would I love to cut bigger checks? Absolutely. So that means I got to work a little bit harder to do more. Because again, my goal, this is real stuff. I would love to have this entire wall. So when kids walk into this school and they're like, I want to major in business. We don't care what you want to do in the end, just you made a decision to be a part of the College of Business. And wouldn't it be nice, again, to have an entire wall just spread out with these plaques and say, look, man, all these people have done something to set themselves apart, but they understand the legacy that A&T has provided for them. And I appreciate just all the people who have created an endowed scholarship. And, I look forward to having my plaque on the wall and really show people that you can leave this institution and write checks. It ain't that hard. Just you got to be willing to do it. And it starts with one conversation. So for all of you Aggie alums who may see this, reach out. Reach out to your department. I don't care if you're not a business student. Reach out to, engineering, whatever department you were a part of while you attended school. They need the money. And let them, you can have some say in what you want your endowment to do. And I just want to see this thing flourish. Like, I want to come back and, they're able to expand and to do things that we never even thought, because we always have these ideas and dreams about what we want to have happen, and sometimes we just don't have the money. And I think if we have more money, we can do more. We can educate more people like me. So I am fiery, I am passionate, I care. And I learned and honed a lot of those skills like during my time here at A&T. So Aggie Pride is nationwide, hell, it's international wide. I might as well say that, but it's one of those I want to encourage more of people who look like me to do more for your HBCU. So I'll end it with this. I will keep working to do my part. And when it's all said and done, like, I won't have cheated this life. I will do the hard things. I will make the tough decisions. I will make the short-term sacrifices for a more prosperous future. People always say, why don't I come home? For what? I don't need to come home. Technology is allowing me to touch people and reach people everywhere. So I don't need to physically be in North Carolina to do this work, but I'm going to keep doing it. And so I'm going to challenge you to do more, because the more that I challenge myself, then it's very easy for me to ask people to do more, because all they're going to say is, well, what are you doing? And I'm going to share it with you. And then what you going to say? What other excuses will you make for not being great? Yeah, I'm all about trying to get this money, and I'm going to do a whole lot of good along the way. And I'm willing to make some sacrifices. And they're short term in my eyes. Like, and the way I think about it is, it's all short term. It's short term. I've been gone for a long time from North Carolina, but I don't forget where I've come from. I don't forget who has helped me along this journey. And I want them to understand that I appreciate it all of it. So do more. But you first got to look within and take care of your shit. Take care of your house. Take care of you. Take care of your significant other. Make sure your kids are on point. So I'm not going to stop preaching this message because people just aren't listening. Today's a good example. When I talk about money, like I think about these cop killings that, another one just happened. I think about how we get pulled by the police, and I think about just me being a black man and how, society doesn't want to see me win sometimes. And I appreciate my time at A&T because they want to see all of us win. So you deal with the bad stuff that happens in this world, and you can do a couple things. Actually, there's one thing you got to do. You make a decision to do something different. I'll leave you all with that. Just do something different. I appreciate my HBCU, therefore I come back, therefore I send money. I try to do as much as I can. I try to increase my contributions as frequently as I can. But, I set up an endowment. So why haven't you set up one at your HBCU? What's your excuse? And whatever excuse you say, just know it's a silly excuse. And all that means is maybe you need to talk to me. Maybe I can get you over that hump to help you understand there's some small things you need to do. Because some of us, you're not getting no younger. And if you keep saying, well, I'm going to get to it later, I'm going to figure it out. Well, apparently you haven't. And you've been going at it by yourself. Like when I had issues here at A&T, I went to my professors. I went to Dean Craig's office. So you're not alone. You're not alone in this journey. So do something different and watch what happens when you get the results that you dream and fantasize about. So I'll leave you all with that. I am actually about to walk around campus a little bit more. I'm going to buy some new merch because I'm going to support my school. And I want all of you to think a little bit harder about your effort that you're doing personally, professionally. And as you think about your legacy and your giving efforts, I want you to consider and think about, what did your HBCU do for you? It did a ton for me. So it's Mr. BuildWealth. I'll catch you all next time around.